In this week's Someone to Know, their hard work paid off, and they walked away with first place.
The kids were awesome. They did this on their own time. They organized it, and they did all the work, and I'm really proud of them.
Elaine Watkins has every right to take pride in her students. After all, these teens from West Sedona School beat 2,000 other students to win a worldwide competition for community service projects.
It was a lot of fun. It was exciting and sometimes kind of nerve-wracking.
After many hours of research, these students came up with the idea for an emergency preparedness program. They called it Sedona's Awareness for Emergencies, SAFE for short.
It's not only like giving them safety, but it's also giving them like a sense of security.
The multimedia project, designed by 7th and 8th graders, includes a scrapbook, a video, a brochure, and a website.
You could design it any way you wanted to. There wasn't really any limits on how to design it.
We tried to make it simple enough so that pretty much everybody in our community could use it.
The idea for Project SAFE was born after the attacks on September 11th.
And our emergency information kind of did from what little kids should do in case of like a fire in their house, all the way up to like what would happen if there was an anthrax in your mail.
And while the competition is long behind them, their efforts still bring a smile to their teacher's face.
Now we have to build a new trophy case for all their stuff.
At the West Sedona School, Jennifer Burgess, 2 News.
Now, the student show, thank you for looking in on us today. Today, I have international champions with me. They are from the West Sedona School. I have their instructor, I have their coach, Elaine Watkins. I have students, Reed Watkins, Michael Garland, Ashley Baugh, Daniel Judah, Adam Perry, Sierra Sharp, and Jessica Martina. And they are the international champions for the Future Problem Solving International Competition. Recently where did you go for this competition?
University of Connecticut at Storrs.
Welcome to the show. Thank you very much and congratulations. This is a huge, huge honor.
We were amazed to win it. It was our second year of doing future problem solving, and no Arizona team has ever taken first place at the international competition, so we were proud.
First year you were state champions?
Yes.
You placed 5th?
Yes.
Therefore did not receive a trophy.
Right, 5th in internationals and didn't get a trophy.
Second year, state champions?
Yes.
And you captured the international trophy. The trophy is sitting right here in front of us, is it not?
Yes, it is.
Beautiful. I hope it's not a traveling trophy, is it? You get to keep it forever?
Yes,
this is ours.
Our principal said he's going to build us a new case, a trophy case, to hold all of our awards and honors, so it's pretty exciting.
Elaine, you are the English teacher at West Sedona. You are a student at West Sedona School.
Mm-hmm. 8th grade.
Also the son of your teacher.
Yes.
And Michael Garland, you are also 7th or 8th grade?
8th.
Okay.
8th grade.
Are all the students, they're 7th and 8th?
Yes.
Elaine, give me a little background about the Future Problem Solving Competition and why you became involved these past 2 years.
Future problem solving is a creative process. We do an aspect of it called community problem solving, and what we had to do is identify a problem in the community and come up with an action plan for it. Michael, did you want to tell Tanya a little bit about that?
Well, what we first brainstormed ideas on, and we chose them, and through choosing them, we had to create an action plan, and we carried it out, and that was pretty much what we did. We had to carry out an action plan that solved the problem.
What were some of the problems you threw out on the table for consideration?
Well, we considered doing Project Teens, which another of our classes did, and it was about our Sedona Teen Center, and we decided not to do that. We threw out an idea of unsung heroes, and there was many ideas. We must have had around 50 ideas that we brainstormed, and we made sure that we got one that we liked, and we made it down to one.
Reed, how did we select? Did 9/11 have any inspiration in this?
Definitely. We started brainstorming ideas for projects right after September 11th. And so we came to the conclusion that our town was very vulnerable because we're not a large town, and so we wouldn't be high on the list for shipments of Cipro if we needed it, which is not very likely. But still,
you never know.
Right, and Palo Verde Nuclear Power Plant is the largest in the nation, and if that was attacked, we'd be directly affected by that. So we decided that our town didn't have enough information, and they didn't communicate enough with our town officials and the fire department and police department to know what to do.
Is this in reality correct? The town didn't have enough information, Elaine?
It didn't
From
seem
your
like,
perspective.
Yeah, I think that that was the legitimate thing, that we didn't really have a central clearinghouse of emergency preparedness information, and people were really anxious. We were having anthrax scares, and there were some people flying overhead that were asking about our water supply, and the pilot brought them back and called the FBI. It turned out that they were water engineers, but, you know, I mean, everybody was very anxious in our town, and the kids decided that if they did an education project to inform people about what to do in the event of different emergencies, it would reduce people's anxieties. And there were some really interesting side benefits, because I think we got different agencies in the city talking to each other even more and considering situations like, what do we do if there's a prolonged power outage? What would happen to Oak Creek? You know, we've got people with old septic systems up there. If the electricity went out for a couple of weeks, their septic systems would start to leach into our only fresh water source. And so it was really interesting. These kids brought up ideas that people hadn't really considered.
Reed and Michael, do you find that the students in Sedona were as anxious as the adults? Did you feel this also?
Not so much as the adults, because the anthrax scares were more geared to the adults, it seemed like. But the kids were definitely, you could definitely feel tension.
Reed, how did we finally decide on the preparedness theme?
Like I said, it was right after September 11th, and so it was a big thing in the media, and we just figured that this would be a great time to work with the issues of information.
Was this a unanimous vote?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Did we all did we all agree? Did all the students on this team agree? How many students on the team, Michael?
Our class is what, like 25 kids around there. So we all decided, all 25 kids.
So the entire class worked on this?
The entire class worked on it without any credit. There was no grade attached to it. I just said to them, do you want to participate in this program again? And we had had a good time with it the year before, and the kids unanimously said yes. But there were really 12 kids of those 25 who did a lot of the work. And so, so the 11 of those 12 traveled to Connecticut. The 12th one had a tennis match.
Very quickly, we're running out of time for this segment, but Elaine, Reed, and Michael, you might want to join in on this. It's a 3-part project. Okay, the 3 parts are?
There's a brochure, a video, and a website. And the website is on our city's website. And our brochure is distributed to families. It's targeting families. And the video targets younger children. It's based on targeting the younger generation, because it's more like happy and
It's personal safety for kids, because we discovered that there was a lot of anxiety on the part of children after 9/11, and the way to relieve that was to make them feel like they were in control of their own situation.
Reed and Michael, did you learn also? Did you learn a lot of things you didn't know?
Definitely. We didn't, some of the things in the child's video we didn't know, so that was a good thing to learn. And the website, which had more worst case scenario information, like nuclear attacks or like chemical agents, we definitely learned a ton.
What to do and what not to do.
Exactly.
Elaine, we're going to have you back at the end of the show, I understand. Reed and Michael, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
When we return, we're going to be talking to Ashley, Daniel, and Adam more about...
Welcome Tracy Watkins to News at 5. He's with Boyer Metal Company of Flagstaff, and he's here to talk to us today about a common set of air conditioning chemicals that have been in the news lately, and also you're going to talk about some laws that are affecting those chemicals. Why don't we start out talking about the CFCs? Can you tell us what those are and what they're used for?
Sure. CFCs and HCFCs are families of refrigerants, which we commonly call by their brand name Freon. These are used to get the cooling effect out of refrigerators and freezers, air conditioners in cars and buildings, and a variety of other applications.
Can you tell us what the new laws are that are governing these chemicals?
Beginning July 1st, which is a week from tomorrow, it becomes illegal to vent these refrigerants into the atmosphere. It's been common practice in the industry to do that. And now we're going to have to start recovering and recycling these refrigerants.
Okay. So now what does that mean for the average person out there that has refrigeration? What are they going to need to do now?
Well, they're going to have to deal with professionals is what they're going to have to do. People who are equipped and trained to handle these refrigerants and who can contain, recover, and recycle them.
Is this going to be an expensive procedure?
There are some costs associated with it. Contractors will have to purchase the equipment and have their technicians trained. Freon prices will go up as production is phased out and excise taxes are phased in.
Okay. What about the people who do it themselves, who work on their own refrigeration units? Do you have some advice for them?
Well, the average person won't have access to the equipment or the training or the certification that will be required to purchase these refrigerants eventually. So certain repairs are just going to have to be handled by professionals.
Okay. How overall do you think this is going to affect consumers?
Well, bottom line is increased prices. Contractors will pass on the expense of the equipment and the training. The refrigerants will become more expensive. Certain repairs will be more time-consuming. And there's also the question of liability for non-compliance with the law.
Okay. Was this a surprise, or did people in the industry see this coming?
No, we've known it's coming, and we've been preparing for it.
How have you been preparing?
We have the equipment, and we've started using the equipment to recover these refrigerants. And there will be reclamation programs and facilities popping up to deal with it.
What has the response been from the public so far?
I don't know how aware they are of this deadline and how it will affect them, but they'll find out July 1st.
July 1st, okay. Is there a time period after that that people have until they need to get this change done?
No. The recovery, at a minimum, the recovery begins July 1st. It has to be done.
All right, well, thank you very much for stopping by and informing us on this important issue. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to Sedona's Garden of Dining Pleasure, the Lotus Garden. Over 200 delicious Chinese specialties are featured at the Lotus Garden. From savory appetizers to elegant entrees, the Lotus Garden prepares delicious Chinese cuisine with pride. The Lotus Garden in Sedona, a garden of dining pleasure. Lotus Garden in Sedona, for an authentic Chinese dining experience. At the Lotus Garden, we take pride in our delicious Chinese specialties and our friendly professional service for family dining or a relaxing evening of fine dining. Come to the Lotus Garden, Sedona's best Chinese restaurant in the Bashas' shopping mall.
Well, they have a whole new playground today. Ready, Pamela?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Filming, are you? Are you recording?
Yep.
Peace. Oh, shoot. Wait. Chick fight. 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. We're going down. Oh no. No! Oh, you lost. You lost! I didn't lose yet. I didn't fall. Hiya! I win! No, you gotta be. You can't be in it. You have to be sticking out of it like you can't fit. Put your head on this side. No, I'm gonna do it how I did it. No, that is how you did it.
So Reed, can you smile for Mom?
Ah! All right, stop filming me. What else do we do? Judah! Ah! Oh, that's intense when you're 6.5 feet tall. Watch this, mommy. Whee! Ready, Mom? I'm coming out that side. Just film that side.
All right.
Ow! Woo! Yeah!
All right. So we're doing the whole reflection piece. Chris is getting ready to go to college thing and all that sort of thing. So what is your best childhood memory? Or what are your best childhood memories?
Me?
Sure.
Probably just summers, going down to the creek with my friends and having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Cyprus. What childhood are you talking about? Like
when you were little.
Little. I've gone down to the creek. We've gone down to the creek. Alright, mine is definitely forts.
Forts.
Gotta be forts. No question about it. I made the best ones. I'm talking outside forts, homie. Obstacle courses.
That's good. So what advice would you give to your cousins who are younger about growing up to be successful teenagers?
What time in their life are they going to watch this?
Like maybe in a couple of weeks or something.
Okay. Probably just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it.
Any specific things come to mind there, Chris?
Not if they're going to be watching this in a few weeks.
Okay.
Preventive maintenance. That's all I got to say. Start the Bravoxylate at around 6, and you should be good. Yeah. Start the erythromycin around age 12.
Uh-huh.
As soon as you get the hair.
The hair, and with that comes the pimples.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so how about, all right, so let's zoom in and find out why we need to. And you?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah, okay, wait till you see the movie.
Zoom in on that Christian Diaz stash there.
What advice are you interested in giving yourself so that when you look at the movie in 5 or 10 years, you can say, oh, that was good advice?
Don't be lame. Parents are usually pretty lame.
Except
Barb Badiaka. And so, I don't have any advice.
I'm going to zoom in on your pimples some more. You don't have any advice for yourself?
No.
What about you, Chris?
Don't drink too much, don't have too much unprotected sex, and always use a clean needle in college.
Way to go. That's great.
Smart.
Anything else?
That about covers it. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Ignore that sound.
Brakes are wet.
Alright, when you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm filming. Oh, you're cool.